Thank you for tuning into The Reading, produced by Black Spectrum Network. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell button to get the latest updates on this channel. You can purchase a private psychic reading by going to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com if you want spiritual guidance to learn how to work with your ancestors or are interested in deepening your spiritual experiences. Subscribe to our Patreon. You can get these and other videos at least 1 week ahead of their YouTube release date for as little as $2 a month. That's patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the personality cards about Tammy and Waka Flocka. All right, so the first row of cards is speaking specifically about Tammy. I get the card for the Knight. So it's speaking about her having an affinity for men who are the Knight archetype, men that appear to be loyal, romantic, chivalrous. Now, they don't have to be loyal, romantic, or chivalrous. They just have to say that out loud. But with that being said, she appreciates men that is attracted to men that have an honorable sense of self, meaning that they honor themselves, they honor their mother, they honor their family. In addition to that, I'm saying here with the Knight card, she's attracted to men that are initiators. She enjoys being approached by by men. She's not someone that would typically approach a man for dating. And she's definitely into men that are dominating. I get the card for the Artist. So the card for the Artist is speaking specifically about Tammy expressing herself artistically. I know that she sang a song. I can't remember. It was like All These Hugs or something. But it's talking about her using her artistic ability to express different dimensions of her personality. She's someone that doesn't really care to use a lot of her intellectual power for deep analysis, but artistically, she has a lot of musical intelligence. She can literally hear she has an ear for good music. She's also someone that is very inspired by art, inspired by music, inspired by other musicians. In addition to that, she has a desire to become a music artist, but she's also not a goal-oriented person. So even though she has a passion, it's not something that she's going to truly act on. I get the Child magical for her. So she has the ability to see the beauty in all things, and she has the belief that everything is possible, which means that she feels that she can have the knight in shining armor, be the damsel in distress, and this great musician. She believes for all those things to be possible, even if some of those storylines will contradict one another and make it impossible for a person like that to exist. She also feels that she also has just a very childlike presence about her. So she wants to be cared for, nurtured. She's not someone that is motherly, but she has a mothering spirit when it comes to her husband, but she's not a mothering person. In fact, she's someone that could benefit from the wisdom and teachings of the elders that came before her. I then get the card for the Healer. So she is a healer. She's someone that heals with her words. She's in her friendships, she's a person that you call upon when you're going through a traumatic or devastating situation. She is in tune with her mind, body, and spirit. So I do get that she's intuitive, and she also may be into getting a psychic reading, every once in a while, but she definitely has an interest in healing. I wouldn't be surprised if she were into holistic medicine or yoga of some sort. Though I don't, in my crystal ball, I don't see her being particularly healthy or living a healthy lifestyle, but she is someone that encourages people to have good energy and good vibes. The final card that I get is the card for the mediator. So she's definitely not someone that initiates conflict or starts conflict. Much rather, she chooses to play both sides of the fence so that she can bridge the gap between between two opposing parties, people that feel that they need to be enemies towards one another. So she would rather choose to be a peacemaker, and that is also a part of her personality and being a healer. Now getting into Waka Flocka, I get the heatedness card, which is speaking specifically about him having, he has a deep taste for the finer things in life. He likes fine wines, fine cheeses, good foods. He definitely, I know that he's vegan, so he stays away from things that are, as far as food, he stays away from things that don't provide him sustenance. But he's someone that's into beautifully or aesthetically pleasing foods. He enjoys really nice restaurants. He doesn't mind chilling alone, vacationing alone to himself. And he has a very sincere appreciation for beautiful women as well. Women that he finds to be beautiful. I get the card for the father. So this is to say that he has had to play father figure amongst his siblings. He's had to father his friends. He's had to father people in his camp. In some ways, he's had to also father his wife as well. He's a positive guide to these people, and people look up to him because they see him as an alpha male, as an authoritative figure, and he definitely dictates what people's responsibilities should be. Your role was to do this. You my cousin, and you're supposed to be doing this for your mom. People that are around him that are influenced by him look up to him, and they appreciate the wisdom that he has to give. I get the card for the Samaritan, which is speaking specifically about him having the capacity to help those others would prefer to ignore. So he does give back to his community, particularly in Atlanta, his hometown. I'm seeing, and I'm also seeing here that he's a charitable giver, but he likes to give internationally. He likes to go to international places and give back. And he doesn't like for the cameras to be on him while he does it. Another card as I get is the card for the servant. So he does have a very serving spirit. He is a giver. And he gives freely from the heart. He doesn't expect things to be returned to him, but sometimes he can use his money as an excuse to. He can use his money, his lack of money, as an excuse to justify his behavior. Oh, once I make it big, then I'm going to change this. Then I'm going to make all these other. I'm going to start investing into my personal growth once I get this amount of money, or I'm going to cut this person off once I get set up, or once I get this person to a place where they can do for themselves. So in him being a servant, he does have a very free and loving heart, but at the same time, he's also the subject of many people's financial abuse. The final card that I get for Waka Flocka is the warrior card, speaking about him having strength, skill, and discipline in all areas that most typically masculine men would. He's definitely seen as a hero who sacrifices himself for the greater good. He will fall on the sword to protect his family, and he will, and much to his detriment, he will allow for other people to scrutinize him if it means that the people that are around him can be seen as powerful. So I'm speaking specifically about, we're going to get into this, the rumors about Waka Flocka cheating on Tammy. He doesn't mind you attacking him just as long as you continue to see his wife as a strong person. And that's his logic. Okay, so now I'm going to shuffle my tarot and we're going to get right into the reading. the first thing that I want to know is, what are their successes in their marriage? Okay, so they actually have a very successful marriage, to be honest with you. Okay, so the main thing that's successful in their marriage is that there's a lot of peace in the marriage surrounding Waka Flocka being able to do what he wants to do. He has independence. So he makes a lot of money as well. He definitely has business people around him that have made sure that he's involved himself in superior investments. Now, the thing that makes their marriage the most powerful force around their relationship is coming up as the hermit, where he's allowed to just have his space, do what he wants to do away from Tammy, and Tammy gives him that space. He's someone that Waka Flocka is domineering. When he wants to smother you with affection, he will, but when he wants to be left alone, he wants to be left alone. And Tammy allows for Waka to do things on his own time. She doesn't really make demands of him, as far as, you need to do this for me, you need to do that for me. Waka Flocka will do it on his own. He definitely has an intuitive understanding of her needs. Now, the things that they could better organize in the marriage, she wants a baby. She really wants to have another baby by him. She's in love with him, and they've been trying for a while, and she's hoping to have a baby. So they are trying to introduce more people into their family to grow it. One thing that definitely keeps the love flowing between them is that Waka Flocka is so wealthy. However, if he were ever to become a selfish person, like financially selfish, or if he were to fuck his money up and then he couldn't re-up, the marriage would start to crumble. Now, as far as where things are headed, as you know, given the successes in their marriage, Waka Flocka will continue to lead Tammy towards her own happiness, helping her to figure it out. I'm not exactly sure if Waka Flocka is happy or if he's just complacent, but I feel that the cards are definitely leaning more towards him being complacent and just happy to have someone that's there, that's loyal to him, and someone to have sex with. For Tammy, on the other hand, she feels like this is the love of her life, that they have a lot more room to grow, and that things are definitely not over between the two of them, and she feels that the marriage will continue on for more for the years to come. Now I want to know, what are the problems in their marriage? Okay, so some of the problems that I see. Okay, so the main problem that I see in their marriage is that they have a case of their marriage is completely hexed, but and it's because Waka Flocka continues to introduce negative karma into their relationship because of his lustful behavior. I get the Wheel of Fortune, the black hole, the card for lust as the most powerful forces in their relationship, and that's crazy to think, given that they're, what makes their relationship successful is Waka Flocka having his own freedom and peace of mind to do what it is that he wants to do. As far as what they need to organize in the relationship is talking specifically about Tammy, that Tammy needs to find a job or find a career that she is supremely invested in, to stop suppressing her desire to be more than a public figure. She needs to actually do something and serve the community. Then I get the card for swiftness and the devil. So she's suppressing all of these things. She's also suppressing her anger towards Waka Flocka's lustful behavior and the negative karma that he brings to their relationship. As far as what greatly disadvantages them in the marriage is you know, Tammy really wants to have a child with him, and because she doesn't have it, it's like she's like, I've got the money, I've got the house, I've got one kid, but I want a kid by him. And she feels that her marriage is very much incomplete. But the thing is that as long as she's living a lavish lifestyle, she will continue to try to convince herself that that is enough. But she wants to have a biological child by Waka Flocka. I see what's coming for them given their relationship problems. She's going to definitely snap on him. I see this happening. I don't see this. I see this. I see her snapping in private, but definitely saying things subliminally in public about him. I wouldn't be surprised if she's also going to threaten separate from him. She won't divorce him at all, but she will threaten separation, and she will subliminally speak about those things. But she's avoiding doing so. She's avoiding even letting it get to that point because she's like, as long as other people speculate and they don't have actual proof, it's all good. But as soon as they do, and they start, and as soon as the huge waves of criticism start crashing at her feet, then she will start speaking about separating from him, things being too much, things needing to change. But this isn't the first time that she's made these threats. She's actually done this before, is what I'm hearing. Now I want to know, does Waka Flocka have kids outside of their marriage? Okay. Waka Flocka does have children outside of the marriage, definitely. I get the devil, which means that he keeps these children hidden from the public, but the women are definitely making money from the children. And I get that I get that it's two women. He has two children outside of their marriage that no one really knows about, or at least it's been rumored that he has them. One of the women he's been in a relationship with for a while, like, she wasn't just someone that he had been sleeping with. She was definitely someone that they had a deep, not a deep, but on her end it was deep, a relationship with. And I get that I see pillow talking between them. I see I see a trip here and there, nothing where it's a flight, but I see like a road trip to places, and I do see the woman being in the shadows. Like I literally can't see either of these women's faces, but one of them, she's definitely African American. The other woman she's not black. And if she is black, she has African ancestry. So the next thing that I do know is that Waka Flocka is just trying to he's really trying to adjust to his new reality, which is he has to hide a lot of his actual lifestyle because he wants to maintain a certain image. He wants his face out there, but he doesn't want his personal business out there. And he has to hide his family from people, because what can humanize him for white audiences is to present himself as a family man, but he tries not to speak about his family because he doesn't want to invite the wrong conversations. He doesn't want to invite the wrong conversations into the room. With that being said, the woman that I spoke about, the black woman, I think that they don't deal with each other. He definitely finances her, and the relationship hasn't been public. She's not interested in going public with it either. I see here that Waka Flocka is not going to stop cheating. However, he's coming up as an emperor, which means that he's not moved by emotional arguments or emotional display or emotional requests. So if Tammy's like, baby, please stop cheating, stop doing this to me, why are you doing? He's not going to stop. I get the card for indolence and the card for lust. So he's definitely sticking to his guns. He's like, if I like it, I like it. If I want it, I want it. I'm going to have it. And he definitely finances the women. He pays them. And if he doesn't pay them, he gives them something like hush money, just things to like keep them quiet. I now want to know, does Tammy cheat on Waka Flocka? Now, Tammy is interesting. Tammy doesn't cheat. Now she has had guys that she's talked to before, and she's definitely like entertained them in conversation, but she's not been sexual with them. So different people have different standards for cheating. My spirits don't even know what the fuck cheating is. They're just like, look, you do what you do. But I'm just giving it to y'all straight. I mean, if it's her, put that in the comments. Is Tammy cheating on Waka just because she is dating another guy or talking to another guy on the phone, texting him, and flirting? Now, she's very much in love with Waka Flocka, and she really wants to have this kid. She's someone that thinks in this way. I don't want to cheat on Waka because I don't want to bring no bad karma on me, because I'm trying to have this baby by him, and I want to be a power couple. He never forgive me for it. So she tries to refrain from establishing sexual relationships with anybody else. I see here that she likes to keep him guessing about whether she cheats or not. And she tells him no, but she definitely lets on that she's interested in other men, or that there have been other men that she's talked to. Regardless, Waka Flocka, regardless of what's coming, regardless of this is what I see coming in the future. Nothing's really going to change in their relationship. It's going to stay as is. And no matter what Tammy does, she can't change Waka Flocka because he marches to the beat of his own drum. So she can threaten to leave, and he may budge and meet certain demands that she makes in terms of him changing, but he's not going to do it on his own or for the highest good in their relationship. But she's going to continue to feign her happiness and convince herself that she's happy, because she likes a man that's dominating. She likes men that make decisions for her. She likes men that take care of her financially, and she doesn't feel as a woman that she should have to protect and provide for herself. She doesn't feel that that's what she needs to do. Okay. So we got another 2 questions. Now I want to know, how does Tammy deal with Waka Flocka cheating? Okay, so she holds it all in. I get the card for science, the devil, and the card for lust. She holds it all in. She internalizes it, and she tries to get turned on by it. She tries to say, like, you should invite me over. Like, she tries to. She's very coy. Like, they can be having sex, and she'll say something to the effect of, maybe you should give me a threesome. I'll give, maybe we should do a threesome. And she's trying to get him to admit to being with women. She wants him to introduce a woman that he's been with into the bedroom. Rather than try to fight to change him, she would rather try to fit into she would try to make the situation better fit for him. So she's going to try to evolve the relationship, or evolve or diminish her standard, or her standard of behavior, so that she can meet him halfway. I also see here that she does feel that she feels like his cheating is cruel. She does feel heartbroken by it. It does disappoint her. However, she feels like they're going to be together anyway. And it's been going on for so long that they make up, they break up, they make up, they break up. She's sort of built, not even sort of, she's definitely built up an immunity to what's going on. As far as, and again, the cards are still saying he will continue to do what he allows himself to do, and what she chooses to turn the other cheek to. So he's going to continue doing it. We can definitely expect to hear more rumors about Waka Flocka getting caught with other women, as I get the card for interference once again. I now want to know, what do they argue about in private? Okay, so they argue about divorce. That's really it. They argue a lot about divorcing with one another. And Tammy is never really sure if she's happy or not. Tammy, when they argue, in the midst of the argument, she feels like things need to be over and done between them. But then when they're done arguing, she feels emotionally exhausted, and in that emotional exhaustion, she would rather have someone to help her pick up the pieces, rather than her to cut her hands picking up the pieces by herself. So she chooses to be in a relationship with him at all times, but she's constantly fighting with him and telling him, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if this is going to work for me. I don't know if this is what I should be doing. And Waka Flocka will say something to the effect of, it's your choice, it's your decision, you make the move. Whatever you want it to be is what it's going to be. And so because he doesn't fight with her for the marriage, she feels like, well, maybe I'm overreacting, or at least she realizes that she overreacted, and she then wants to work on it once again. Regardless, they argue about both of them being happy. Waka Flocka will say that he's happy that she's the perfect wife, and then she will ask him, well, why does he do what he does if she's the perfect wife? And it just spirals out of control, the conversation, and then the conversation spirals out of control, and then they're talking about divorce. Now, another problem is that they don't do ancestral worship in their relationship. So it's like that's the cause of everything. That would fix a lot of this. Waka Flocka is someone that needs to evolve in terms of his spirituality. He needs to have a godfather or a mentor that he looks up to and admires in order for him to feel that in order for him to bring a wholesomeness and a holiness to his marriage. They're also saying that because he doesn't do the ancestral worship, he's not really tapped into his highest self. So he can't really evolve the relationship. It's like the relationship evolves over time just because time is the key factor, not effort on his part being the main variable that evolves the relationship. Nevertheless, ancestral worship would help the both of them, and it would make Tammy's prayers more powerful. And I do think that it would help to change Waka Flocka's behavior if they were a more praying couple. Now, another thing about their arguments are that Tammy starts to reveal that she's truthfully not at peace. She's not okay with Waka Flocka's stubbornness. She's okay with him going and doing his own thing, with him taking his much needed time away from her, but she's not okay with the cheating. She's not okay with him sneaking around, and she hates that she's the last one to find things out, especially because she will choose to believe his lie over the truth that other people will tell her, and then she's hurt when she finds out that it's a lie. And finally, what I see coming for them with their arguments, I just see Waka Flocka continuing to come out on top. It's like no matter how much Tammy cries about it or how much she complains, Waka Flocka is still the financier in the relationship, and she's someone that marries for security. So the sun will continue shining down on Waka Flocka. He will continue receiving all the attention and affection that he's supposed to get as a husband that provides and protects his wife. Tammy will she's going to continue struggling to figure out how to change her relationship. And without the help of her ancestors, that's just going to be incredibly difficult. Nevertheless, I want to thank you for tuning into the reading produced by Black Spectrum Network. Click the subscribe button and the bell button to get the latest updates on this channel. You can purchase a private psychic reading by going to blackspectrumnetwork.com. If you want spiritual guidance to learn how to work with your ancestors, or you're interested in deepening your spiritual experiences, subscribe to our Patreon. You can get these and other videos at least 1 week ahead of their YouTube release date. That's patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. Before I go, I leave you with these words of wisdom from the rapper Dreezy. Gave mercy to these hoes, what would Jesus do? I'm your reader, Nexo, and the truth is always collaborative.
So fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your liar too. Cause when we're here, there's nothing better than the sky.